Aloha and welcome to paradise. If you're planning a trip to Oahu and wondering how to make the absolute most of your time on the island, you're in the right place. From breathtaking sunrise hikes and world-class snorkeling to legendary surf breaks, Hollywood famous landscapes, and unforgettable culture experiences, Oahu is packed with bucket list adventures. In this video, we're breaking down the top 10 must-do activities and tours across the island, including insider tips on the best times to go, hidden gems to look out for, and pro hacks to make your trip unforgettable, whether you're here for the adventure, the culture, or just soaking in those turquoise waters. This list has something for everyone. So grab your sunscreen, get ready to explore, and let's dive into the best things to do in Oahu. If you guys are new here, we're Giselle and Steven, also known as the Lover's Passport, and we're taking you on a new bucket list adventure every single week of the year. We've visited over 44 different countries and over 35 different US states, and we cannot wait to show you what Oahu has in store for you. We've personally visited Oahu over 10 times, and it's one of our favorite places in the US. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Starting with number 1, you have to add Diamond Head Crater to your list of things to do on Oahu.
We just got here to hike the very famous Diamond Head Crater Trail. I've been doing this trail since I was a little girl, since my family lives out here on Oahu, so it's a very easy hike. It's about 1.5 miles, a couple hundred feet of elevation gain, and you do need a permit to reserve your parking here in advance if you are not a Hawaiian resident. So I'll put the QR code for that right over here so you guys can make your reservations, but you'll want to make sure that you plan ahead because this is one of the most popular things to do in Oahu.
It is an iconic landmark with sweeping views of Waikiki and Honolulu, and it's a nice little spot to hike up if you're not looking to do anything too adventurous but still want to go out for a hike during your time on Oahu. We would recommend anywhere from 1.5 to 2 hours for this experience, and you can go super early in order to beat the crowds and the heat, but we opted to go a little bit later in the day, and we started our hike during sunset so we could see that nice golden hour over the city. It is cool because you can also hike down into a World War II bunker and take in beautiful views of the coast and the city. And if you're worried if this hike is going to be too extreme for you, I would say that it is doable for basically every single fitness level. We saw people of all ages up there. It's not too steep and it's pretty gradual. Just make sure to bring some water if you're doing it midday because it does get hot.
Next up is seeing an incredible Hawaiian sunrise at the top of one of the famous pillboxes. Now there are pillboxes scattered throughout the island. Our personal favorite is the Lanikai pillboxes, primarily because it is a straight-on view of the sunrise. It's definitely a little bit busier of a hike over the last couple of years. It's gotten busier and busier. Keep in mind that this is in a residential area, so please be respectful. Please make sure you are parking in the correct area. There is no designated parking lot for this hike, so if you're looking for parking, the safest bet is to park in the Kailua Beach parking lot and then walk the additional 10 minutes or so over to the trailhead, so that way you have a good parking spot and you don't have to worry about anything else. If you're gonna come up and hike this for sunrise, make sure to bring a headlamp. Make sure to have the trail data downloaded on all trails. I'll link that exact thing in the description down below for you. We highly recommend all trails for any sort of hiking, so if you don't have that premium version where you can download trail data, I 100% would recommend getting it. It's a short and easy hike up to the pillboxes. It took Steve and I about 15 minutes to get up there. I've been doing that hike since I was a kid and it's fairly easy. I would recommend wearing some grippy hiking shoes though, because it is a little slippery with all the dirt, dust, and erosion up there. There is no shade on this trail, so just keep that in mind. There's also a few sections where there's some ropes you can hold on to because it is a little slippery. All in all, you only need about an hour or two to do this hike round trip and enjoy the sunrise. It is so peaceful and beautiful, and you get a gorgeous view of the Mokes from up here.
Another thing you have to do when you're on Oahu is go snorkeling in the beautiful water. There's 2 spots that we would recommend. Number 1 is Hanauma Bay, which is a little closer to Waikiki. That being said, you do need to make reservations in order to visit. The other spot is going to be in the northern side of the island, and this is going to be Sharks Cove, which does not require reservations, but it does get extremely busy. So you want to make sure you get there earlier so you can find parking. These two spots are especially famous because they are loaded with tons of different fish and beautiful sea turtles to go swimming with. Please make sure to keep your distance from the turtles though. We would recommend going in mid-morning to afternoon because that is when your visibility into the water is going to be the best because the sun is going to be coming up to the highest point of the sky. We would recommend anywhere from 2 to 4 hours depending on your fitness level. You can either rent snorkel gear or you can also bring your own. But if you guys are looking for any tours to these spots, I went ahead and put the QR code right over here so you can go and snorkel in the beautiful waters of Hawaii.
A trip to Oahu is not complete without visiting the North Shore, so doing some sort of North Shore Adventure Day is 100% on the top 10 things to do when you're visiting Oahu. This area is known for legendary surf breaks, laid-back vibes, and iconic food trucks. Some of the top things to do here is to go visit Waimea Bay, especially if you're visiting in the summertime. It's a gorgeous swimming and snorkeling area, or if you're visiting in the winter time, that's where you're going to see some of the iconic surf. You can also go check out Waimea Falls, which is really close to Waimea Bay. It's a short and easy hike to a waterfall. It's a classic Oahu hike. It's definitely more commercialized and built up, but it is still really nice. If you've never been to Oahu before, this is a really easy waterfall hike. While you're visiting up here, we'd also recommend checking out Sunset Beach for sunset. If you've seen the Instagram famous palm tree, this is the beach where that is. It's gorgeous. The area is just super beautiful for sunset. You get a really nice view of it going down, and it's really close to all of the famous food trucks. So while you're up here, you're going to want to try a ton of food. All of them are phenomenal. Steven and I checked out the crepe truck and the famous Giovanni's shrimp truck this time around, but there are lots and lots of other ones in the North Shore. So depending on what you like for your food palette, check out just food trucks on Oahu and you'll get a full list of them. And while you're up there, you also have to check out Matsumoto shaved ice. It is 100% the best shaved ice I've ever had, and it's almost like Subway for your shaved ice. You get to pick and choose all of your different flavors and custom toppings and ice cream and whatnot, and yeah, it's totally worth the wait. It goes by really quick, so if there is a line, don't be alarmed. It moves pretty quickly. And if you're not renting a car this trip to Hawaii, I will link a tour right over here for you that has a lot of these stops included.
This next spot has been seen in so many different Hollywood movies, and it is called Kualoa Ranch. We recommend doing the Jurassic experience here, where you can grab some ATVs and go exploring the massive part of the island. If you want our favorite experience to go and do the ATV tour, all you have to do is scan the QR code right here to book your tour in advance. I would definitely recommend booking it in advance because we tried to do it the day of and they were sold out for 2 weeks. So if you guys are planning to do the ATV tour or the horseback riding tour or the zip lining or any other experiences in Kualoa Ranch, we would definitely recommend to scan the QR code so that way you can make reservations in advance. For this type of experience, most of the tours are going to be around a half day, so plan on that when you are looking at your itinerary for Oahu.
Next up, if you're an adventure and water lover, then you will absolutely love this next activity, which is kayaking out to the Mokulua Islands or Flat Island, which is right next door. Now, depending on what your ability is in a kayak, you can either go out there guided or you can do a self-guided trip. I would recommend going with a guide if you're not familiar with the area because the currents are pretty different out here. I will link the exact tour that we did right over here. The Kailua Beach Outfitters were fantastic, and they also provide on top of your kayaking tour a lunch voucher where you can go and get sandwiches or pizza. They also give you rentals of all of their stuff for the rest of the day, like boogie boards, bikes, all that kind of stuff. So if you want a fun beach day on top of kayaking, that's a great tour to do.
The next thing that you have to do on your Oahu bucket list is go swimming with dolphins and turtles in the west side of Oahu. This was something that was super unique and we had not done since our time in French Polynesia, where we got to go scuba diving with dolphins. This tour was really cool, where we went out on the boat, we searched for the dolphins for about 45 minutes, and then all of a sudden we were surrounded by a pod. I will say you don't get to get too close to the dolphins because they are wild dolphins, but we easily saw over 2 or 3 dozen dolphins After you do the dolphin swim, you go closer to shore to one of the most beautiful reefs. We saw dozens of sea turtles there, tons of fish, and the water was so clear. If you want to do the exact tour that we went on for the dolphin swim, we went ahead and linked it right over here so that way you can scan the QR code. Our tour started really early in the morning, so you'll probably have to leave Waikiki around 6 a.m. in order to make it out to the west side of Oahu by 7 a.m. when most of the dolphin tours go out. And we heard that the best time to go and do the tour is the morning because that is when the dolphins are the most active.
You guys know we love to chase sunsets around here, so our next activity is a sunset catamaran cruise around Waikiki. This is an epic way to end your trip. You get gorgeous views of the city lights of Waikiki. You get sunset panoramic views on the ocean. If you're lucky, you will get to see some turtles or dolphins out there, and it's just a really fun way to spend an evening. Typically, these tours last around 2 to 3 hours, including the time to check in, get on the boat, and get off and whatnot. So just allot that amount of time when you are deciding if you're gonna go on this tour. There's a couple of different vibes based on what you are looking for these kinds of catamaran tours. There are some that are like BYOB, more party oriented, and then there's some that are more chill, more couples and small boats. So we'll link a few options down below in the description based on whatever vibe you're looking for.
If you have never been to Oahu, you have to go and do a luau. Luau's are so much fun where you get to taste the delicious Hawaiian cuisine, you get to see the beautiful Hawaiian dances and experience the full Polynesian culture. It is so cool. I know that we get little hints of it from movies like Moana and Lilo and Stitch, but when you visit Hawaii, you have to either visit the Polynesian Culture Center or go and check out one of the luau's. We put the one that we recommend right over here. Be ready for a fun show and make sure to bring your favorite Hawaiian shirt.
And last but not least, if you are an avid hiker, you've got to hike a ridge out on Oahu. Now, I will say Kauai, if you're looking for the best ridge hiking on the Hawaiian Islands, is definitely the island that you will want to prioritize for this. That being said, Oahu still has some really great ridge hikes. They're all about 20 to 30 minutes away from Waikiki. So if you want to do these, I'd recommend having a rental car. There's also a couple of these hikes that are in residential neighborhoods where you might need to get a permit or some sort of like check-in from a gate. So just keep that in mind. Research these trails in advance before you go and hike them. And please be respectful of all of these so that they can preserve these trails for future generations to come. Leave no trace. Bring your 10 essentials, just be a good, respectful hiker. Also, just keep in mind that there's a variety of ridge hikes that look open, but they've been closed. So just do your research because the trails have changed a lot in the last like 10 years. So some hikes that you were able to do in the past, you might not be able to do anymore. Just make sure to go on All Trails and some other review sites to make sure the hikes you want to do are still open. I would recommend just typing in ridge hike on Oahu and then sorting the hikes by your skill level to find one that you liked.
And that is it for our top 10 things you must do on your visit to Oahu. Like I said, it is one of our favorite islands. If anyone is considering going to Hawaii, we always recommend Oahu first. Even though we visited all of the other islands, we think that it has the best food, it has the most things to do, and definitely has the most resources in terms of like different activities and shopping, and it's great for all ages. With that though, we're gonna be wrapping up this video. If you enjoyed it and found value, make sure to hit that like and subscribe so you can see more bucket list adventures, and we cannot wait to take you on our next trip to Africa. With that, we'll see you next week with another adventure.